Now, there's a lot of conversation around Kashmir today. Even the US president is talking about it. He says he is willing to mediate the issue. We'll come to that in a bit. But first, let me make one thing very clear, especially to foreign media and foreign politicians. This conflict was not about Kashmir. This conflict was about terrorism, about punishing Pakistan for the terror attack in Pahalgam. With that said, let's look at the updates. President Donald Trump posted this statement today. Let me quote from what he said. I will work with both India and Pakistan to see if after 1,000 years a solution can be arrived at concerning Kashmir. Now, first of all, this is not a 1,000-year-old conflict. This conflict dates back to 1947. That's not even 100 years old. Secondly, India is not interested in Donald Trump's mediation. Indian sources have confirmed this to us, as they've stated on record multiple times in the past, that New Delhi's position on Kashmir is very clear and unchanged. A, there is no room for foreign mediation. This is an issue between India and Pakistan. And B, there is nothing new to discuss on Kashmir. The only issue to discuss is the return of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to India. That has been India's position, and that continues to be the Indian position. So why is Trump trying to meddle? One reason could be plain ignorance. He says this conflict is centuries and centuries old. Clearly, he does not know much about Kashmir. Even in his first term, he offered to mediate. Back then, the Indian government firmly rejected the offer. Another reason is clearly the push from Pakistan. Their politicians cannot stop praising Donald Trump. Let me show you Shehbaz Sharif's tweet after the ceasefire. Look at the first sentence. We thank President Trump for his leadership and role for peace. Clearly, Pakistan is trying to woo him, and frankly, this should not surprise anyone. Take any India-Pakistan conflict of the past. It has followed the exact same trajectory. Pakistan provokes India, India hits back hard, Pakistan suffers major losses, they go crying to the Americans. And the Americans pressure both sides to stop, or try to pressure. This has been Pakistan's template. Once the fighting stops, they try to twist the narrative. Again, let me go back to the tweet from Shehbaz Sharif, the Pakistani Prime Minister. This is what he said. Pakistan believes this marks a new beginning in the resolution of issues that have plagued the region and prevented its journey towards peace, prosperity and stability. This is clearly delusional. A new beginning, a path to peace and prosperity. Is Shehbaz Sharif living in the same Pakistan? As of now, there is a fragile truce in place. Things could easily escalate out of control again, yet Shehbaz Sharif calls it a new beginning. He talks about, and I'm quoting, issues that have plagued the region. Clearly, he's talking about Kashmir. Pakistan is using the Americans for two objectives here. The first is to hyphenate India and Pakistan again. There was a time when both countries were seen as two sides of the same policy. Western leaders wouldn't visit India alone. They would visit both India and Pakistan in the same trip. Recently, that had changed. India became a global power while Pakistan went broke. Islamabad is now desperately trying to restore that old equation. Secondly, they want to internationalize Kashmir. They want to make it seem like Kashmir is pushing both countries to war. And therefore, the world should get involved. That is the story they're spinning. Now, it is true that Kashmir is a major issue, arguably the most contentious one. But this conflict was not about Kashmir. This was about Pakistan-sponsored terrorism. Islamabad is making an attempt to bury that truth. And from the looks of it, Donald Trump is buying that version. Maybe he was lured by the idea of striking a deal. Indian diplomats will have to work overtime to set the record straight. Kashmir is not on the table for global discussions. Only Pakistan terror is on the agenda.